So we're capturing all these raw events, and we were sitting down thinking about what else could we do with this? And a very popular topic these days is Gen AI adoption, and how could we use this information to drive that adoption, drive visibility about the applications that people are using, and help companies drive adoption safely, with governance. Oh, I see some questions coming up about forensic search. Is forensic search included, or will it be included with the Nightfall Complete bundle, or is it an additional cost? It will be included. Oh, looks like Rohan answered it already. Okay, great. So, what can we do with these raw events? So, from reports online, we can see that even though you think that you're controlling employee usage, it's really out of control. There's just so many interesting new apps that people are using to get their work done. And we don't want to impede this speed, but we want to make sure that these great new features or great new applications are used safely. So this is the second new app that we're introducing, and it's called App Intelligence. And with it, we can turn this raw event activity into some real powerful features. It enables you to discover all the SaaS applications, all the GenAI applications, AI agent applications that your employees are using. If there's new applications all the time, so we realize it's not just enough to give you a list. We really need to classify them for you and describe their function and risk. And we need to give you more context around them. Like, is there account information, tenant information, workspace information that's critical to drive your adoption decisions? And in that, we probably need to do some analytics, like surface what's popular, what's emerging, what's anomalous. So with that, let's go through these 5 scenarios and show off App Intelligence. So I'm going to go back into our application. Now, when I was showing you forensic search, I mean, you can imagine that this kind of data is very sensitive. I didn't mention that this is all synthetic data at the moment. And if I go back open, App Intelligence will be in a new menu along with forensic search called, the menu is called Discovery. Let me go ahead and close it again. Up top, first thing that we do is we surface just a total app count. And in this case, or when we first release it, apps will be synonymous with websites that you interact with that have a specific function, a unique function, a canonical function. So for example, Google has got tons of different apps, Gmail, G Drive, Slides, Docs, etc. Each one of those would be listed separately. We also classify those, as I mentioned, and we're showing you that right now this company in particular has 19 AI apps, and then how many users we've seen. We score each app by risk. We show you what your top AI apps are by adoption, and then we also give you a 7-day snapshot of what's being adopted, what's your fastest growing adoption, just so you can have some surface where you can look at and have some direction and get in front of that problem around adoption. So let's start with that. What new apps are employees adopting, and who are the early adopters? So Workday makes sense. Like, that's our new HR application. We just switched to our California employees to Blue Shield of California, so it makes sense first of year that we have a lot of logins there. Football is currently in playoff mode, so it makes sense that people are reading stories using their work computer. We all do that. And then these two are the interesting ones. So we've gotten a lot of new users using Claude, and also this thing called Granola. let's look at Granola. I don't know if you all have used Granola, but if I click anything up here, it will update the filters down below. And if I want to find out more information about Granola, I get to see, yep, here's our total user count. It was first seen 4 months ago, last seen a year ago. That sounds wrong. This is our one of our fastest growing apps in the last 7 days. So got some data problems here. Here's a summary of what Granola is. I use Granola all the time. It's an app that can listen to your conversations and take notes. So you can either use it, if you want to just speak to something and have that captured, or if you want to record a conversation you're having either with a friend or, through Zoom, you can use Granola. And here we score it risk high and give you a reason why. Granola doesn't have specific instances associated with it. This destination list would provide that. An example of something where you might see different destinations is GitHub. So GitHub is one app. It's a code repo app, but you can imagine you could have being access to tens, if not more, different repos. And so that's where this destination list would show up. And I am really curious about who's adopting Granola because, I've been tasked by our CISO and CEO to inform them about what apps people are using and really drive safe adoption. So if I click Show Events, it's going to jump me back over into forensic search, and I'll be able to see all the different users that are using it. So it looks like Stephanie is a big user and William, Matt. So I could reach out to these people and find out exactly, why they're using it, how they're using it, what they like about it, and then maybe make a more informed decision about adoption. Nathan asks, I missed part about forensics. Could you clarify whether event collection occurs at the browser level or at the endpoint level, et cetera? So it's the endpoint client that's collecting all of these. And any action that you see here is one of our supported exfiltration vectors, which is a growing list over time. So it could be like a G drive download, or it could be copy paste into Granola in this case. Cool. So scenario one, what new apps are people adopting and who are the early adopters? I think I answered that one. Let's go back into App Intelligence. Okay, second scenario. Which GenAI and agentic AI tools are in active use? So if I look through here, I don't see anything up here that would show me what agentic tools I was using. But if I go select GenAI, so here I get a list and I can sort by this list. So, and a couple different versions of Claude. Looks like we probably have a couple different versions of Copilot. Deep learning, what's this? It's just an educational platform. Okay, so somebody's brushing up on their AI. Let's just look at the AI agents. So Glean is classified as an AI agent. N8N is like Zapier, but it's a way to create workflows, automation workflows using AI. And this is interesting because I didn't know that anybody was doing agentic workflows. Let's again see who's doing this. Last 30 days. Let's do full range. Oh, okay. This is one where our synthetic data in App Intelligence doesn't match our synthetic data in forensic search. So if this were live data, I would be able to see who's adopting it and talk to them about it. So I'm not sure if we have the right controls for machines moving data around. So this one kind of concerns me, and I think that's why the app risk here is high. Okay. So which GenAI tools and agentic tools are in active use? I guess I do get the top five here, and all of those make sense to me. The one that is concerning, though, is this N8N, because I know instead of being just human initiated actions, this is machine initiated actions, which can happen, at a much, much higher scale. Okay, which apps introduced elevated risk based on data access, sharing, and AI usage? So we talked about NAN. I'm just kind of curious about maybe we'll answer question the second. Uh, Maybe we'll answer scenario three and four at the same time. Let's look at GitHub. Um, GitHub. So here, do you remember I mentioned that GitHub's going to have multiple instances or destinations? So our fictitious company here is Hyperbolic Mortgage. This is our repo. Makes total sense. React.js. So we have some pushes, some data movement into React.js. Maybe we have some really high-end employees. Maybe they're contributing to this library, so that makes sense to me. What doesn't make sense to me is there's a repo in here called Bob Smith. And so it looks like maybe I need to investigate this further, jump back into forensic search and look into the data that Bob Smith is pushing into his personal repo. He's either, working on his own repo using innocently but inappropriately using his work computer for that, or maybe he's exfiltrating some data. Okay, so we handled scenario three and four. So last, let's see, can App Intelligence help me improve my policies? And this kind of goes back to, I think, Victor's question, where can forensic search, who asked that? Something about can it help block uploads to ChatGPT personal accounts? Yeah, Victor, you asked that. So similar question to that. And if you've used our exfiltration product, you'll know one of the controls that you have is domain collections. And if we've captured all the domains that people are interacting with, you can imagine that we might be able to make it easy for you to add or remove domains from different policies or to adjust them on the fly. So what I want to do here is maybe add a collection. And maybe I have one in here, unsanctioned web apps. It's not well named, but by adding that, I know that we have a policy in place that would block any uploads to Bob Smith. So as soon as I do that, our policy is updated, and we could block them. So I can either do it at an itemized instance workspace destination level, or I could do it to the app at a high level. And that's maybe one thing I want to do using this control. So I see that I have some apps in here that show critical risk. And when I look through these look familiar. Okay, that looks pretty scary. Maybe I want to add that to that same collection. And this looks like, okay, it's an anonymous file sharing platform with no great identity boundaries or governance. Yeah, this looks like something that I don't want to encourage. People can already share data using our G Drive accounts. So I'm going to add that to a collection. Cool. So in just a few minutes, I got a good understanding of the apps that people are using. All employees, all 5,000 employees across the world. I was able to do some investigations. I was able to make some recommendations on adoptions, interact with some folks, some early adopters, and update policies on the fly. So this is App Intelligence. The team's been working hard on this, and I think you see the power of possibilities here that this will afford you.